If you've watched even a few videos about the big beautiful bill and feel more confused than when you started, you're not going crazy. Here's why. Every other video is missing the one fact that makes everything else make sense. Ready? The bill everyone says is destroying America with debt actually saved you from a much bigger bill, and I can prove it. You see, they're screaming about the $3.4 trillion price tag, but staying quiet about the $4.5 trillion price tag that was averted. In this video, I'm breaking down the facts versus the fears in plain English and showing you exactly what just happened to America. Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill. It rewrote America's tax and debt rules almost overnight. And we're talking either debt disaster or taxpayer savior, depending on who you ask. So let's cut through the noise and look at both sides, one at a time. And if you're like most people, you've heard the scary numbers, but you're wondering what they actually mean. Your gut is telling you something doesn't add up. Trust that instinct. First, it puts $3.4 trillion on America's credit card. That's true. It's like America just made a massive purchase on credit. But here's what blew my mind when I dug deeper. If the bill hadn't passed, nearly every American family would have faced a $4 to $4.5 trillion tax hike starting in 2026. So let me make this super simple. $3.4 trillion. That's about $10,000 for every single person in America, including kids. But without this bill, your taxes would have gone up even more than that. It's like Congress had to choose, take out a bigger mortgage or stick you with a higher payment every month. They picked the mortgage. Number two, the borrowing hits hard and fast. $500 billion more next year, $600 billion the year after. That's real. There's a big jump in borrowing right away. But here's what most people don't know. About 12% of that debt might get paid back if more people get jobs and businesses grow. It's like hoping your side hustle covers your car payment. It'll be nice if it happens, but you probably shouldn't plan on it. And I bet you're thinking, that doesn't sound like that much. Well, you're right to think that, but here's why it matters. Number three, America already owes $37 trillion. This just makes it worse. More of your taxes go to interest, not schools or healthcare or other stuff like that. Yes, our national debt is already huge, and this adds more. And here's the thing. All this borrowing makes interest rates go up a bit, which means your mortgage and credit cards get more expensive too. But skipping the bill could have been worse. Without it, economists said there was almost a 50-50 chance of a recession, like flipping a coin to see if you'd lose your job. Both choices stink, but one stinks less. Number four, they had to raise the debt ceiling by $5 trillion. If this bill fixes things, why borrow even more? Think of the debt ceiling like your credit card limit. Congress had to raise America's credit card limit by $5 trillion just to pay bills we already promised to pay, like grandma's Social Security check. Not raising it would have meant the government couldn't pay what it already promised. Imagine if your bank suddenly said, sorry, we're not letting you pay your electric bill this month. That's what would have happened to the whole country. Not raising the debt ceiling means grandma doesn't get her Social Security, soldiers don't get paid, and government workers get IOUs. 5, tariffs and government savings are just a distraction. Tariffs bring in less than 5% of what the government spends, and promised savings are just too small to matter. I mean, here's a fun fact. Even though tariff money doubled this year, it's still like finding a $20 bill when you owe thousands. It helps, but it doesn't solve the problem. And then savings. The government says they'll save $19 billion a year through the efforts of DOGE. Remember that? But that's less than what the government spends in 24 hours. The critics are right. These don't cover much. The main reason the bill costs so much is that it keeps most people's taxes lower. The small savings help, but they're not the big story. Number 6, this bill could push the dollar closer to losing its spot as the world's reserve currency. Some people worry this could make other countries stop using the dollar like the world's favorite money. But right now, the dollar is still like the iPhone of money. Everyone wants it, even if it's not perfect for now. The dollar does make up about 58% of the world's piggy bank, and that actually went up a tiny bit recently. So while some people are freaking out, the rest of the world is still betting on America. Let me show you what almost happened in a 72-hour window that would have changed everything. Most Americans have no idea how close we came to real financial chaos. What if the big, beautiful bill hadn't passed? Working families and small businesses would have faced sudden, massive tax hikes, over $4 trillion worth, almost overnight. That's like your boss suddenly cutting your paycheck by 20%. The debt ceiling could have been hit, meaning government shutdowns, delayed Social Security checks, and financial panic. Grandma doesn't get paid, soldiers don't get paid, nobody gets paid. Millions would see smaller paychecks, right when everything costs more. About 2 million people could have lost their jobs, according to the experts. Markets could have crashed like 2008 all over again. Bottom line, America just bought time. Nobody fixed the real problem of spending more than we earn. It's like paying your minimum credit card payment. You're not defaulting today, but the problem is still there. Congress had two choices. One, raise everyone's taxes by $4 trillion right now, or two, borrow $3.4 trillion and hope we figure it out later. They picked option two. That's it. That's the whole story. Now, what do you do? If you have a job, your paycheck stays bigger for now. If you have debt, interest rates might go up, making it more expensive. If you have kids, they'll inherit this bill. It's like co-signing a loan they didn't ask for. If you're working, the big, beautiful bill gives you a little breathing room and a slightly bigger paycheck, but it pushes the debt problem down the road. If you're worried about debt or prices going up, this isn't the final answer, just a bigger pause. If you're still watching, you're not just smarter, you're now more prepared than 95% of America. The question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Because if you're waiting for Washington to solve your money problems, you're probably going to be disappointed. The people making money during all this chaos, they're not smarter than you. They just know something you don't, yet. The last real way for regular people to protect themselves is this: to borrow money that loses value, to buy things that make money and go up in value. And the only way for the average person to do this with the least amount of risk is through cash flowing income property. If that makes sense to you, but you don't know how to pull it off yourself, I made this video right here just for you. I break each step down and the shortcuts to save yourself from what's going on in the world's economy, regardless of which way this big, beautiful bill plays out. So check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.